In this video, we will try to understand memory. Okay, so for understanding it in molecular level, you should know some of the terminologies. So we will first see the terminologies used frequently in case of memory. So first one is synaptic plasticity, which is synaptic connections which can change over the time, which is called as synaptic plasticity. Synapse is the junction where neurons communicate with each other. So the neuronal space, which space between two neurons, it is called as synapse. Long term potentiation, which is also called as LTP, is thought to be the cellular basis of memory formation. Long term potentiation can occur at most excitatory synapses all over the brain, but it is best studied at the glutamate receptors or glutamate synapses of hippocampus, and calcium is the major mediator for long term potentiation induction. Okay, so now we will see how it happens or how memory formation begins. So in the hippocampus it starts, and it is stored. If it requires that we need our memory to be stored, then it will be stored in the cortex. Okay, so if the lesions in hippocampus are there, then it impairs formation of new memories, but it doesn't or don't affect the older memories. Okay, now what synaptic plasticity does, it l- helps in learning and memory retention, and it follows the rule of use it or lose it. Okay, it means if you used your synapses, that is frequently used synapses are strengthened and rarely used are eliminated, so new memories will form when new connections are established, right? So the strength of synapses is measured mainly by level of excitability or responsiveness of post synaptic neuron, right? So means जैसे बोलते हैं कि आप जितना अपने ब्रेन को यूज़ करोगे उतनी आपकी मेमोरी शार्प होगी, ये रूल यहाँ पे अप्लाई होता है सिंपली. ओके, देन how this process actually be regulated at molecular level. So what happens is glutaminergic neuron is stimulated first, right? Then what it causes, it causes release of glutamate into synaptic cleft, which binds to its receptors, that is AMPA and NMDA receptors, that both exist coexist in the synapse. Okay, so once receptors once this glutamate binds to receptors, these receptors are ion channels which are activated when glutamate binds to them. So when presynaptic neurons stimulated by weak signal, the small amount of glutamate is released, and only AMPK activated by the small or weak signal, and NMDA remains closed as pores of the NMDA receptors are blocked by magnesium ions. Okay, so it causes sodium influx, which ultimately leads to depolarization of postsynaptic cleft or membrane, which, and if strong signal comes, then it removes magnesium from the NMDA receptors, which allows calcium ion into the cell, which is mediator of long term potentiation induction, that is memory formation. So there are two phases in long term potentiation. So early phase, late phase. In early phase short term memory forms, and in late phase long term memory forms. So in early stage calcium is mainly required, where it activates protein kinases, which enhances synaptic communication in two ways. It either phosphorylates existing AMPAs AMP receptors, or it either increase conductance to sodium and helps to bring more AMP receptors from intracellular store to the postsynaptic membrane. In this way, short term memory forms which last for several hours. And in late or long term memory, new proteins are made and gene expression is activated, which includes newly synthesized AMPA receptors and other proteins involved in growth of new dendritic spines and synaptic connections. So here I have denoted RS by which denotes receptors. So this is very molecular level of memory formation. I will try to simplify the things more in later upcoming videos. Thank you.